A very good day, everybody. This is Tuomas Holopainen from Nightwish, and you have the privilege of watching Chaoszine.
Hello, you're watching Chaoszine, and we have a special guest today. Nightwish is going to release a new album in September, and Tuomas Holopainen is here today to discuss with us a little bit about the album. Hi, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So
Hi.
nice to meet you. We heard the album yesterday, and it was quite a piece, very beautiful, a lot to think of and recognize. How does it feel to get it finally out?
Absolutely lovely. A little bit bittersweet as always, because you take that journey with those songs for such a long time. It's always hard to let go. But then again, we're so happy with the result again that I'm just really glad that the world will finally get to hear it.
A couple of days ago, you released a second single, The Day Off. What kind of feedback have you been receiving? Because it's a bit different. There's something new. People have been talking about it a lot. So what kind of feedback have you been?
Have they? Okay. The thing is that I never go to the depths of internet and read any comments ever. I used to, and I kind of noticed that it's better for my mental health never to go there. I'm not in any social media platforms, nothing like that. But I heard from the other bandmates that fans seem to understand what the song is about, and for me that's the most important thing, because lyrically it's one of the most core songs on the whole album. It's really important. It was also, I think, the very first lyric that I wrote for Yesterwynde. So it, in a way, encapsulates a lot that the album is about. And we knew from the start that it's going to be controversial for some fans, both musically and lyrically. But this is music, this is art. You have to bring out some emotions. So, good.
Did you think about the release because you think it's a bit controversial? Did you have a thought of it being risky or brave to put that kind of song out?
It was the very first time that we listened to the songs, the demo of the songs with the whole band, and instantly, if I recall correctly, everybody says that track number 4, The Day of This, has to be a single release. It was instant, it's such a catchy song. It's very Nightwish, but there's something completely new. This is really interesting, so we have to put it out. Originally, it was supposed to be the first single, but then we decided that Perfume would be the first one and Day Off the second.
Yeah, I totally agree about the song being a single, because it's beautiful and it's it brings something new out. Yesterwynde is kind of a third part of the trilogy. You have a theme that has been going through a couple of previous albums. Was that the idea from the beginning? Did you know when you were doing previous albums or when you were starting to do this album that it's going to be like that?
We did not, actually. It was after finishing Endless Forms Most Beautiful about 10 years ago that I felt like there's so much more to explore here about these themes that we need to do another album. Thus, Human Nature was born. And then again, the same thing after Human Nature. There's still something to be said. So let's do a third one and call it a trilogy.
Okay, so have you mentally been going more into the topic? Because if you feel like there's still things we have to say.
It's just so interesting to ponder about these things and tell these stories to the world. And also, these subject matters are something that really appeal to all the members of the band, which wasn't quite the case in the past, because the songs, the lyrics used to be a bit more personal, a bit more fantastical. And they weren't always so that all the other bandmates would be able to connect with those lyrics. But with the previous 3 albums, even Emppu, our guitar player, was like, please explain this to me. What is this about? This is really interesting.
Yeah.
And then when we had the band camp at Röskö, almost every night we would talk about these things, about the history of mankind, evolution, science, the stories that this new album has.
Yeah.
So in that way too, it has brought the band more together. And
That's cool.
I just find it even more interesting to write songs about stuff that I know that the other band members will be really deep into as well.
The themes are not like very light. There's like they are very deep, and thinking about the day of it's like a bit dark. Would you like to go a bit more into the themes of the songs? Like, where did you get the ideas to the songs? For example, one song is called Hiraeth, if I say it right. I googled it, and it's was it like Welsh or some kind of word? The meaning was beautiful. So, where did you get that? Would you like to explain something about it?
I rather not go too deep into the lyrics. Part of a musical experience is that you build your own story around the things that you hear, and it's really important that we don't reveal too much. But what I can say is that it is a concept album, its themes being time, memories, and mortality. And all of those songs are related to these topics one way or another. And just to get back to your point about the song The Day Off, actually has a really optimistic message behind it, behind all of that gloom that she paints with the lyrics. So if you dive deeper into the lyrics, I think you find a lot of light behind all of that. There's a reason why Floor joins the kids for the last two choruses.
Yeah.
Because maybe she realizes something as well.
Oh. So there is a lot to find out in the songs. I guess many would like to hear about the process, and people are very interested in like actual making of the album, and because there is like a lot of elements and stuff. So would you like to tell something about the making process? It took a few years, if I've understood. What were the most interesting parts of the whole journey?
The songwriting process for me is always number one, and that started in the Corona year of 2021 in January. The songwriting process took about a year this time. Then I recorded a demo of all the songs. Then in 2022 we started to listen to it with the whole band, and at that point the world opened so that we were able to do some shows as well. But in between doing those concerts we would be just listening to the demo and having new ideas. And then in 2023 we started the Nightwish summer camp, rehearsed the songs, started the recording process, went to Abbey Road in London to record all the orchestras and different choirs, started to mix it in late 23. It took about 4 months to get the whole thing mixed, and then about 6 or 7 masterings after that. So altogether about 3.5 years in the making. Of course we did some shows in between, so that counts as well, but it's been a long process.
Were there some really challenging parts to compose?
Not that I can recall of. All the songs, again, they were excavated really easily. They were not buried too deep into the ground. Mr. James Shearman, who did all the orchestral arrangement this time, he was highly motivated, really inspired. It took about 6 months for him to orchestrate all the songs. Again, the Abbey Road session was just fantastic in every way. Maybe the biggest concern that we had was how Floor was feeling after giving birth. And then when we flew over to Sweden to her home studio with Tero to record her vocals, we had reserved 2 weeks for her vocals, and she was done in 6 days, I think. We were just blown away, like, how can you do that? After all this, after all you've been through, and sing it so beautifully. She had really done her homework, and not only that, but she knew exactly what the songs were about.
She got into them.
She really got into them, had done her research. Really proud of her. I think it's her best effort yet.
Much love to Floor. Your song, The Greatest Show on Earth, was originally going to be very long, like 45 minutes. And you had to cut it. And you said that you have the rest parts, still somewhere. Were they used in this album?
No. All the songs on this album, they are born from scratch.
Okay,
Yes.
so nothing. Have you used them in any other? Are you planning to use them? Are they waiting for some? Because there's a lot of material if the song was.
The thing
45
is
minutes.
that the way it works for me is not like that. The story always comes first and then the music on top of that. And if I have something in the archives, it's made for a certain story. So I don't want to take that part and use it to another story because it's a mismatch.
Okay, so you never use old ideas, basically.
Not a single example comes to mind. Maybe it's more of a subconscious thing, but not. No.
Yeah, like some kind of thought that you might have can come again and be used, but not like material.
Exactly.
Wise.
I might be wrong about this. I have to give it some thought, but nothing pops to mind immediately.
The album is, after all, quite heavy. Did you get some inspiration from Dark Woods, my bet, rather? Is it affecting somehow in the background?
Again, maybe on a subconscious level, but these two things are quite separate, so I don't think it was really the inspiration. Again, a thing that we never do deliberately is think about the album beforehand. Let's make a lighter album, let's make a heavier album. And the whole thing that this album is more heavy, more metal, it's not metal enough is a bit ridiculous to me because all in the listeners' ears, and it's become a bit of a joke in the band. You know, we want the album to be more metal.
Yeah.
And just before I started the promotional tour in Europe for this album, this was last April, we were kind of joking that how many times do we get that comment. And the very first interview on the first day, nice to meet you. I really was hoping that the album would be more heavy.
Yeah. People like to, put you in some kind of, genre or stuff. Because can you even say that you are in like one kind of genre anymore? Because like this album, if you listen to it through, you can like, you can't really say because there is so much, and I guess it's like it's not that simple.
Categorizing is not interesting to me at all, but you have to categorize it in a way that you know where to go in a record store. And I guess we are closest to a genre called symphonic metal.
Yeah, I could say. It just has so much elements from...
Yeah, sometimes it's really heavy, sometimes we have the ballads and the folky stuff. It's just what we want to do, and it's just how the songs tell us how they want to be told. It really is that simple. Always find the story or the emotion first you want to express, and then just listen to it really carefully. How do you want to be expressed? Oh, so you want to be that kind of song. Okay, let's try that.
Yeah.
And I have this philosophy that all the songs, they have already been made. They have just been buried underground, and you need to excavate them and bring them to the world. Sometimes they're buried deeper, sometimes shallow, but they're already there. And this is not my idea. This came from Stephen King. And I completely agree with him when it comes to a creative process, that it's more like that than, creating something completely new from my own brain.
Yeah, and I guess the talent is to make an album that sounds like your music, but has always something new and, new elements and stuff. Because I guess you did that with Yesterwynde. It sounds totally Nightwish.
I hope we have been able to do that with all the albums. Something new, something old, in perfect balance.
And isn't like being a good artist is like you can do whatever you want and still sound like yourself. So you can't limit yourself.
Absolutely. A band is never a prisoner of a certain genre or style. A band is a group of people who want to do a certain kind of music. I know many people disagree with this notion, but that's the way I see what a band is.
Do you have some personal or very important track on the album for yourself?
Yeah, if I would mention just one song, how would the other songs feel? So I'm not going to put any songs on a pedestal. Actually, yesterday was the first time I listened to the album after the mastering. So I hadn't heard it in months.
Okay.
It's not like I listen to our own music all the time at home or any music, but yeah. So I don't really have a favorite. The best experience for Yesterwynde would be to listen to it from beginning to the end. Hopefully with lyrics in front of you and the cover artwork. That's how it's meant to be listened to. But if you just want to take one song out and jam to it, that's completely okay as well.
As Yesterwynde is closing the trilogy now, as we're speaking, have you already something in mind for the next albums? Do you have like another themes, or do you think you're so much into this one that maybe the next albums are going to be something similar?
I haven't given it a single thought yet. I've been just enjoying finishing the Yesterwynde ride, and at the moment we are in the middle of recording the next Ari album. So that's where all the musical ambition goes right now for the next few months. The only thing I can say for sure is that there will be more Nightwish albums, but that's a thing for the future, and I have no idea where we're going to be heading. But I'm equally sure that it's going to be something really inspiring and interesting again.
You are not like yet inspired to do another Nightwish album?
Not yet, no. 3.5 years of doing this, you need to have a little breather.
Yeah, now that you have a break from touring, what are you planning to do? You already mentioned you're doing Aure album.
We actually have all the songs composed already, and then we're going to record them later this year, early next year. Kaitsu's going to be doing the drums again. And then we're going to have a tour at the end of next year with Auri. Do a bit of traveling in between, staying at home, the normal stuff. And then from 2026 on, I really don't have any idea. Which is a lovely thought for a change.
Yeah. Do you have some thought there could be a chance you might make another album before getting back touring?
I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea.
Maybe you start writing, like autobiograph, story of your life or something. Is it already time to tell your life story?
No way. We need some more miles under us. Yeah. For that story to be interesting and full.
So you have no, any estimation on how you're getting back on tour?
No.
But Nightwish is going to turn 30 in 2026. Do you have any thoughts about that, like plans for that year or?
We have had some discussions with the record label how to celebrate that, and there are a couple of ideas that I cannot reveal just yet. But of course, it's quite the number, 30 years, so a little celebration is going to be in order.
Yeah, let's hope for some show, maybe even one, if not the tour. We'll see. Looking even further, how do you envision Nightwish's legacy? Is there some kind of milestones you would like to achieve before you can consider the band's journey complete? Is there something you want to achieve or do?
It's been quite the journey already, and I'm just absolutely superbly grateful for everything that we have done and achieved so far. I've made some of the best friends in my life through Nightwish, which is really important. Have been able to express how I feel through the songs, have been able to do it from home, so I haven't had to move anywhere after work that I don't want to be in, so that's quite the privilege. It's just been really good. I feel so privileged about everything, really. But that doesn't mean that there are no more ambitions with Nightwish. I still want to do better albums, better songs, find some new stories to tell, to channel through Nightwish at some point in the future.
Is there some things now that next month you'll be releasing this album? Is there something that has come up to your mind, like we could still be doing this or that with our music or to the next album, or is there some kind of do you feel like you put everything to the album and you still feel like you've done everything? Do you have something that this could be done in the next album, this could be done in the future, kind of?
Just feel quite empty and happy at the moment when it comes to the Nightwish tank. It's empty and it needs to be refilled with some time. And we're all happy and prepared to do that.
Do you have some final words to the fans who are now eagerly waiting for the album, and when they are getting it and start to listen it, what would you say to the fans?
I think I already said it, that the best way to experience Yesterwynde is from beginning to the end with some thought. But to each their own, however you want to listen to it. I just hope that you enjoy what you hear.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.